Today on Horsing Around, Dr. Chris Blevins offers tips to horse owners on how to safely administer injections to their horse. Then K-State's Dr. Jamelin Farney discusses the Sunflower Supreme Heifer Replacement Program. Next, Gary Darnall, owner of Darnall Feedlot, tells us how working with his customers helps him better meet consumer demands. And finally, Dr. Dan Thompson gives us an update on beta agonist research. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Hello and welcome to Horsing Around. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins here at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center, and today we're going to talk about some things that might make some people kind of uncomfortable. That's needles. And I know that some people, if you have horses, you have to deal with needles, or somebody has to deal with needles, potentially if you're treating or even just giving vaccines to your horse. So what are some kind of important things to remember or to know about the needles and the horse? And there's very common things that are missed by owners while giving vaccines or giving medications. One is the size of the needle, two is the location, and three, how sharp the needle is also plays an important role, maybe not on that time, but the next time you give injections. So starting with maybe locations of the horse and where we give those, most people just go right straight to the neck to give those injections, and it's a safe area to give injections. Just remember when you do those, making sure that you're above the cervical vertebrae and in front of the slope of the shoulder. Your veterinarian can sure help you with those if you have any questions or concerns about where to give injections in the muscle of the horse. The other area that we can give is in the pectoral region, so in between the front legs, or in the lower hip of the back legs is another location we can give injections to the horse. Again, if you have any concerns about giving injections or questions, talk to your veterinarian or give us a call here at the vet school. You can even find information on our website at KSU Timely Topics if you search it. The other thing would be the aspect of needle size. Just because you think a smaller needle makes it so a horse doesn't necessarily feel it, that may be true. However, we also have to worry about the size and the gauge of the needle if it would break off in the muscle of the horse. And so the safety of those sizes of needles is also very important. Most injections need to be deep IM, so they need to be 1.5 inches in length, and usually an 18, 19, or 20 gauge would be the smallest gauge we'd want to use as far as size of needles when given IM injections. Third is making sure that the needle is sharp, because if the needle's not sharp and it's burred, meaning that all it takes for a needle to be burred would be if it goes into a rubber stopper, or if it's already been injected somewhere else, that can cause the horse to react and feel the needle more. Most horses really don't feel a sharp needle, and so using a clean, sharp needle every time is important for the horse not to react, but also for a sanitary reason, so you're not cross-contaminating anything between one horse or the other when giving medications to your horse. Now, whenever we talk about the safety of injections, different medications, and your veterinarian's prescribing different things, don't ever hesitate to ask them questions if you're not quite familiar with giving them or you haven't ever given vaccines or injections before. Maybe have your veterinarian demonstrate the first one for you if you ever are concerned or not knowing exactly what you're doing with that when prescribed. Again, all those things are very important when you're injecting your horse with IM injections, whether vaccines or medications. And hopefully, if you have any other questions, give us a call here at the vet school. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center for Horsing Around, and we'll see you around.
Hi, I'm Deb Beisel, and welcome to Historic Topeka Cemetery. Behind me is the grave of Alfred Gray, Secretary of Agriculture. That beautiful monument was dedicated to him by the grateful citizens of Kansas, and you can learn more about his story and those other folks who have done so much for Kansas agriculture by joining the Friends of Historic Topeka Cemetery.
This hog is Hanover hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, One hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
In a feedlot situation, we use Multimin on arrival basis. Maybe if they came in a little lighter weight, 550 to 600 pounds. We use Multimin in high-stress cattle, high-risk cattle. We're looking for a better response to our vaccine. Or some of the cattle that we're looking for when we use Multimin, they come in, maybe they look a little mineral deficient. They come from parts of the country that are lower in certain mineral. So we use it on those cattle, tends to make a big difference.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and the Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jamie Lynn Farney with Kansas State University. I am the Southeast Area Beef Systems Specialist, and at the 101st KLA Convention, I talked about this new replacement heifer program that we have going. It is entitled the Sunflower Supreme Replacement Heifer Program. At this meeting, I covered some of the basics of the guidelines and some of the objectives of the program. Specifically, this program is designed to help improve quality replacement heifer development and management, including emphasis on health, reproduction, sire selection, as well as additional marketing tips and options. From a health perspective, we do have strict guidelines in regards to certain pathogens that need to be protected against at weaning, booster, pre-breeding, and at pregnancy evaluation as well. We believe from this program, you should be able to implement all these vaccination protocols in your operation for a healthy, successful replacement animal that should have long-term profitability within your operation. Also, within the Sunflower Supreme program, we do, since they are working with bred replacement heifers, have requirements in regards to calving ease sires. We want to make sure we can minimize dystocia concerns. And overall, if producers choose to not retain their heifers within this operation, they can market them in our special cells that include only Sunflower Supreme heifers who have been certified by your county extension agents that they have met all of our criteria and should be a high quality branded product that you should have some confidence can go into your operation with success. This program originated in 2012 when several extension agents, the Kansas Department of Agriculture got together along with several producers and veterinarians to develop a base guidelines based on best management techniques as well as research to help producers be successful at their development of replacement heifers. After that, we have been really advertising this program for the southeast area of the state because it does have a very high quantity of cow-calf producers. Within 2014, we plan on extending this to the entire state of Kansas, and hopefully we can encourage all cow-calf producers in the state to join in this program, or at the least practice these best management techniques. You can find more information about this program, the specific guidelines, some newsletters with pertinent articles, as well as some of the data and paperwork on our website, sunflowersupreme.org.
This is the Fast Track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas, or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
I'm Katie Allen with K-State Research and Extension, and got to visit with Dr. Jude Capper, who is a special guest lecturer here at Kansas State. Dr. Capper's research focuses on beef sustainability and the impact of the beef and dairy industries on the environment.
The conventional beef industry has been sustainable and will continue to be, because we know now far better how to treat our cattle, how to feed them, how to breed them, how to care for them every single day. So what that means is, over the last 30 years or so, we use 12% less water per pound of beef, we use 33% less land per pound of beef, and the carbon footprint per pound has come down by 16%, which is a huge achievement on the behalf of the industry.
This is K-State Research and Extension.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Roy Fry Western Lifestyles brings the cowboy or cowgirl out in all of us. With a huge selection of must-have items, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for your horse, picking up some Western accessories to add that rustic charm to your home, or simply treating yourself. The knowledge and expertise to dress you your Western best is right here at Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, Highway 24 and Kansas Avenue in Topeka.
At Wildcat Feeds, the only feed that matters is yours. We'll help you manage your feed costs with our custom blended nutrition. For more information, visit us online at wildcatfeeds.com and call us today for our current mineral specials. Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
It may be called the cattle business, but really, it's a people business.
We have some of the greatest customers. The beef industry, the people in the beef industry are some of the greatest people on this earth. They're very devout, they're hardworking, they get good work ethics, very moral, good people.
Gary Darnell appreciates the trust that ranchers place in him. When producers send their calves to the 22,000-head family-owned feed yard, it's a large investment they're placing in his care.
Well, number one, we're going to do it right. In other words, all of the phases of the feeding industry, we are going to do it. The animal welfare, the handling of the animals, we train our employees to make sure that the animals are taken care of and handled correctly and taken care of. That's number one priority. The health program that we have, I feel we take a back seat to no one, and again, that's for animal welfare.
Even a large feedlot keeps close tabs on all the animals in their pens.
We track every animal. Of the 22,000 head in the feedlot, we can on the computer pull up every animal, know what it was treated for, when it was treated, and so that we take care of that animal, and as a result, that we think that's very important.
Health and handling are just two pieces of the equation. Nutrition, genetics, and marketing all figure into profit potential.
The changes in beef production is just unbelievable. We have the genomics now. that we can do so many things in a much shorter time than we could previously, and we're just so fortunate to be part of that.
Darnell says the end goal is to provide consumers the quality beef they demand while making money for their ranching partners. I'm Cindy Campbell.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome. At Wildcat Feeds, the only feed that matters is yours. We'll help you manage your feed costs with our custom blended nutrition. For more information, visit us online at wildcatfeeds.com and call us today for our current mineral specials. Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Hi, I'm Deb Beisel and welcome to Historic Topeka Cemetery. Behind me is the grave of Alfred Gray, Secretary of Agriculture. That beautiful monument was dedicated to him by the grateful citizens of Kansas, and you can learn more about his story and those other folks who have done so much for Kansas agriculture by joining the Friends of Historic Topeka Cemetery.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
We've been here for 42 years now. We run around 2,500 cows. I bought a couple loads of cattle out of cows, black cows out of California. I noticed these cows are kind of a off-color, rusty color. We're going to be processing these cows in the next few days, and at that time I will inject Multimin into them to help take care of their copper deficiency. I would recommend Multimin to any cow man, and it's been effective.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
You're tuned in to Agriculture Today. Glad to have you along. As we look at the latest in the quest to find out more information about the role of what are called beta-agonist products in cattle feedlot operations and finishing rations. It's been quite the topic of conversation, as you know, for the last several months. Along our way once more, K-State veterinarian Dan Thompson, who's been in on quite a bit of the dialogue over beta-agonists recently and certainly right in the thick of research on this very topic. Dan, without dwelling on it very much, we are all familiar with the scenario here. The product Zilpaterol has been at the epicenter of the discussion.
You know, well, the first things first, this is an animal welfare issue as stated by the packers and by the people at Merck, and I think that everybody at this point in time is just trying to do diligence on what the issue is and better understand the scenario so that we don't lose these types of technologies, but use them in an optimal point of view in our production facilities. And as we move forward, we are being asked day in and day out, and rightfully so. I think we're asking ourselves this question as a beef industry to take a holistic view of technology.
That really has brought on what might be termed an all-hands-on-deck approach to looking at what's going on with these ambulatory questions.
What we're really trying to solve is the issue of these animals that are slow-moving, they're ambulatory, but they're just reluctant to move, or they're tied up, or stiff-muscled types of animals at the plant.
And as part of that, finding out with certainty what role, if any, beta agonist use has in those conditions.
Right, and this isn't a new phenomenon. We've seen this in other species. The swine industry 15, 20 years ago discovered this fatigue pig syndrome, and that's kind of what we've called it now. Fatigue cattle syndrome is what we're calling the syndrome that we see as far as these cattle at the plant that are slow moving and reluctant to move or tied up. Well, in our research, when we've looked at cattle that are not stressed and they're on a beta agonist or on any of the beta agonists that are on the market, we've not seen anything but about an increase in heart rate by 10 beats per minute, and we've seen no difference in lactate or CPK levels. However, we have to understand that when we have seen the issues with cattle, with this fatigue cattle syndrome at packing facilities, it's during the summer months where we have heat stress. We have changed the outweight of these cattle over the last 5 years. We don't ship 1,250, 1,300 pound animals. We're shipping 1,550 pound, 100 pound animals, and now we're increasing the days on feed. We're using metabolic modifiers. We're pushing these animals, and corn prices were elevated. Mm-hmm. And so we have to understand that I really feel that we need to do more diligence on the situation. I think we have a really good start on understanding the syndrome. I think we have a really good start on understanding what fatigue cattle syndrome is. We have seen it in cattle that were on beta agonists. We've seen it. We've had a case report in cattle that were not fed a beta agonist. But as we move forward, we're going to have to do more research. Can we recreate this syndrome? Can we better understand the clinical and physiological responses that cattle? Is there a genetic component to it? In swine we have the porcine stress syndrome, and there has been a report of bovine stress syndrome out of Australia. So I think at the end of the day, this is going to open up tons of research.
And a volume of research that needs to be followed through upon to get to the answers here before rushing to judgment about beta agonists and their actual role.
Yeah, and I think that this is one of those things that we're going to learn a lot about the last 30 days on feed. That to me, that's the long-term stress associated with this syndrome. Number of days exposed to heat stress. Do we have heat stress mitigation plans in place at the feeding facilities? Outweights on cattle, sorting of cattle to get them all even at pushing that boundary of heavyweight carcasses. Looking at the day that we ship the cattle, that would be the short-term stresses. Are we using low-stress cattle handling techniques? How far away from the loadout facility are the fat cattle being moved? Are we shipping them during the afternoon, during the heat of the day, or are we coming in and shipping them at 2 in the morning? I think there are a lot of things. Are the truckers trained to properly transport these animals? All of these things. How long do they wait at lairage at the slaughter facility? All of these different risk factors are going to have to be bundled in.
Well, thanks for briefing us on where the research agenda stands in this area. And as those answers are uncovered, we'll be anxious to have you back and to share that information, as this is one of those real lightning rod matters in this case, beef cattle production currently.
We're given a job and a task and a responsibility, and we don't take it lightly.
Very good. Appreciate your time, Dan.
Thank you.
He's a veterinarian here at Kansas State University and one of those involved in examining the various aspects of the use of beta agonist products in cattle finishing rations and the effects of said use. Dan Thompson with us on this part of Agriculture Today.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.